Guys, this is Jake here, and I'm shooting this review for both Canadian Cutting Edge and Goods, Gadgets, and Gear, which I have not abandoned, but I haven't been doing enough videos on that channel for a while. I'm just so enamored with knives, and that's why this video took so long to do. I got these early December, late November, early December. So I've had them for over 2 months, this set. I've reviewed a Wowstick before. This is by Xiaomi, tech company from China that's going gangbusters. They're number 4 now in the world for cell phones, growing gangbusters, but they make all kinds of really good stuff. And this tool set comes in a number of different versions, this basic tool set. Basically, you've got an electric screwdriver, and it has a little bit of a light LEDs inside it. And, you know, it rotates in forward and reverse on this. They call it a piano switch, because it looks sort of like a piano key. It's just a rocker switch. And you can get it either with built-in lithium-ion batteries, or you can get them where you add your own AAA batteries inside. And they're awesome. They come with S2 tool steel bits. And I saw this one set at Banggood that I really thought was a good set for me, because I do more than just knives. And so I wanted to get this set, and I got it in from Banggood, and I want to show it to you today. It can do, if you're into doing your own repairs at all of, say, your cell phones, your computers, especially laptops or pads, mobile, not an iPad, but that's one of them. What's the generic name for them? Anyways, you know, tablets, tablets, all kinds of stuff. You know, the glass sometimes breaks on them, and it's expensive to go get it replaced. You can go online and buy replacement glass for them and do it yourself if you're willing to put in a little bit of effort and, you know, just do it. There's all kinds of YouTube videos on how to do it, but you also need the right tools. This set of tools goes a long way to meeting that need. So watch this. So, okay, the first thing I want to tell you is that this set is their premier kind of luxury kind of set, and you got all kinds of components in it. So let's go over the components. First off, you've got the screwdriver, the Wowstick, and this is the one that's got the 500 milliamp hour lithium ion battery in it, USB-C charging, not C, USB micro port for charging, and you know it's got 3 LEDs in there that light up, provide enough light to light up the spot that you're doing. And it's got a decent amount of torque. When it's fully charged, you know, it takes a lot to stop it. But sometimes I found if something's really stuck, you know, I turn it on, and then I also give it a turn with my hand. This is aluminum body on here, and it easily has enough traction on it, even though it seems fairly smooth by looking at it. It's easily got enough traction on it that you can undo stuff. And then here's this foot. That's actually the side that goes down, and the screwdriver just sits in there, you know. So if this is the tabletop, you know, it just sits in there balanced. It has this really nice premium look to it, so it saves a lot of space on your desktop, and you've always got a place to put it with or without a bit inside, and the bits get held on with a magnet, so when the bit's in there, it's staying in there, and you can just put it in there and have your screwdriver on the ready for when you need to use it. So that's the main component. By the way, here's a size comparison. There's a standard Bic pen, and that tells you, you know, really roughly how big this thing is. It's not heavy or anything. They send you a cord with it to charge it. You know, these cords are ubiquitous, you know, not a big deal. You got a nice cord. Let's do the small things. They give you a slightly magnetized pad. So this is great for stopping your screws from rolling around. So you're taking a screw out of something, chances are really high it's going to roll away on you. I like to use bowls to put them in, but if you don't have a bowl or something around, this kind of pad, that'll hold your screw, stop it from rolling away. They have some sample screws with it. So I just want to show you, see, it holds the screws. They're not falling off. So it's got enough magnetism on it that it'll hold your screws and stop them from falling away on you. And so you got a little sample set here, and it's also a good spot to keep any spare screws you end up getting. This part, this is a little bit gimmicky, but that's actual glass. They give you a little suction cup. If you're changing the glass on a cell phone, you stick that on the cell phone, and then you can help you lift it off when you're prying it out. So, it's good for something. What else do you get in here? You get a Magnetizer Demagnetizer. So you can magnetize the tips of your screw bits if you want to, and then you can demagnetize them as well. You can buy these items much larger, much more powerful at your local hardware store, but it's just nice that they've included that. So you've got an extra little thing there. Let's see, before I get into the other bits, oh, here you go. You've got this little bit, looks like a guitar pick sort of. It's a little bit of a pry tool to get, underneath stuff and pry it up. You can clean your nails with it if you want to, but I was just demonstrating that, how it's got different thinnesses at the 3 different edges. It's good for your thumb for prying stuff off. Very good for changing glass on tablets and cell phones and stuff. Then you're also given this bag here. Now, this isn't genuine leather, but you've got a bag of tools in here. And you've even got an anti-static strap. Now, this can be sort of a gimmick if you're not used to it. Anti-static straps can be super useful, but only if you've got a proper anti-static outlet to crimp this, to crimp this onto. Some people are just suggesting, if you're working on your computer or something, you put this on your wrist, and then the metal, touches you. And then you clip this onto the chassis of your computer, onto a metal part so that when you're working on the computer, you're not going to have static flowing between the two things. And yes, it is a little bit helpful for that, but it's best if you know anybody who really works on electronics and has a proper workbench. They've got an anti-static port that they plug this banana plug into. And so that keeps them grounded to the entire environment and everything that's on it. And that's the way these are intended to be used. But you can use them this way to clip onto, the chassis of your computer. Now, if you're working on something small like a cell phone or a tablet, you don't have a spot to clip this onto because there's often very little metal on the outsides of those things. So, if you can use this, if you've got a good, thing to use it, go ahead and use it. There's a little resistor in here so that it helps make the static that does flow. It sort of buffers it so it doesn't spike in anything. It's a good thing to have, but I've actually never, ever used one, and I've never had a static issue on anything. And I first opened my first computer repair business back in 1996, and I was doing desktop repair and service. And I've opened up an awful lot of computers and fixed them, and I've built a lot of computers and stuff. And, it's just be careful, constantly be touching the chassis of the case, and, you're generally good to go. Unless you live in a house or a building that's got a lot of static buildup, then you do want to use one of those anti-static strips. Here's some of the other tools. I'm going to go through them quickly because this isn't the main thing. This is a flexible piece of metal. It's full tang, so the metal goes all the way back to there. Inside, but this is just a thin piece of flexible metal to get behind stuff to pry it loose. A little dust brush. Let's put that back in there. Dust brush. And then we've got all kinds of tweezers. A flat tweezer. And then we've got pointed tweezers that are on an angle, pointed tweezers that are straight. We've got this type of plastic that's reinforced plastic, Pry Tool. It's got a point on one end. It's got flat on the other end and a little, catch there. These I've used an awful lot of, I just have. You've got this tool here. This is an extra flexible bit. I've hardly ever had any need for that. See, it goes in there, and there you go. And then when you turn it, this whole piece is turning here. So if you need to get at something, not generally super useful because, this isn't super flexible. If you can't get it, if you got to get at something around a corner, you still need a bit of access anyways, because you can't just bend this super, super tight, like 90 degrees. So it can be useful, but I don't use this thing very often at all. And then you've got 3 other tools here that are more like, looks like dentist tools, or tools that you would use if you were working with clay or something, you know, a spoon kind of style spatula thing, a pointed spatula, a flat spatula, rounded tip, and then, you know, this bigger one. All of these can be very handy for prying under stuff, lifting it off, you know, and just maybe leaving in place so you get your spacer, and then you take another tool at another spot. And, you know, so these things are very handy, and they're not super high-end, the tools in this baggie, but they're very useful. So it's got a nice little snap to it, and nice little logo on there, Wowstick, easy and enjoyable. So you've got that. Now, what do we have? We've got this container. The earlier one of these Wowsticks that I've got it in white, and it's got the AAA batteries in it. It has one of these containers a little bit like this, except for it's only got a trench for the one tool in here, and then it's got like 6 or 8 bits around it. But this one's made to either hold your tool and some of your bits. So let's say you're going somewhere and you take the bits that you really want to use. You've got a nice container that's got little magnets on here and just holds it together. Easy for carrying around, keeps everything together, and you know, that's what that's for. So put that aside. What we have is 56 different bits and a little cup holder for maybe there's some bits that you use the very most of. So let's say you are just a knife guy like I am, but just knives. You might want to do the T6, T7, T8, you know, T9, and maybe a flat or a Phillips or something. And you put the bits in there. I'll show you how to use that. Just dropping stuff, eh? Here's the bits. And you put the bits in here, and it's held with a magnet. You can hear it. And once it's in there, you press it, it opens up, and they come out ready to use. And you can put your screws up there. That's what I dropped, was the screws, isn't it? Yep, I dropped the screws here. So let's do this. Well, and I'm going to drop that. So here's a screw. And let's say you've got a screw, you can put it up there. That's magnetic. So both these things, you dump this thing upside down, the screws will stay there. So if you don't have this pad, you've got your screws up here, and they're held in place by that magnet that's in there. These are held in a magnet as well. So very useful little container for occasional use, your most occasion use. The bits that you use most often are held in place by that. So that's just awesome. You can buy these separately if you want to, these Wow cases, the Wow Case Mini. You can buy them with some bits. You can buy them just empty like this. It's a nice little addition, even if you don't have a Wowstick at all. This is, you know, your standard size bit, the standard size port and stuff. So most of my screwdriver kits have these size bits. And so this kind of tool package thing comes in very, very handy. So I'll give a link for just buying these as well down below in the description. And different Wowsticks that you can get. Now this guy, I've got a coupon code for $11 US off. Now that's a good amount of money, because normally this costs $56.99. I've got a coupon code so that you can get it for $45.99 US. That's a very good price for everything that you get, especially with these 56 different bits. For those of you guys who are into knives, you've got T2 through T10, so every single one of the sizes in between, and T15 and T20. And then you've got all kinds of other stuff. You've got Phillips in a whole bunch of sizes. You've got these triangle bit, you got square Robinson bits, you got these triangle bits, you got spanner bits, you've got the Phillips bits, you've got hex bits, you've got these other star bits, you've got these 3-way Y bits. Let's see if I can get it to focus on here. There you go. So you got these, you know, 3-way, 3-side, sort of like a Phillips, but it's only got 3 sides. You got the security Torx that are hollow on the inside. you've got 56 great bits, and I'll have a list of all of the bits down in the description below. And that's what this tool is. It runs for about 2 hours of use. That's with no torque on it, nothing resisting it. So that's 2 hours of turning. Now, you use it for maybe 3 seconds at a time to undo a screw. Let's do 3 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. You don't even do 3 seconds for a lot of screws. And so you've got a lot of time. And after you've used it for a while and you feel it starting to slow down, you can still, engage it and then turn it by hand and then just plug it in. Plug it in and let it charge up. It charges up quickly and you're good to go again. Or, you take this out and you use just a hand screwdriver for a little while this thing is charging. I'm sure you probably have a screwdriver that takes these size bits. Now, this is a tool steel. S2 tool steel is a good, strong, durable tool steel. This is not your cheap entry-level screw bit. The WeHod bits that I have this size are made with the exact same S2 tool steel. So, you've got some really good bits here, and I really, really enjoy this set. These containers, if you want to keep using them, they're designed to keep holding your bits, and you put them in here, lick it in there, and you've got this little cap on this end, and stick it on there, and that holds everything together. So there you go. It comes in a nice premium cardboard box, but I don't keep those cardboard boxes, so I've tossed that already. Everything you get here for $46 US, $45.99 from Banggood. Depending on where you live, they might charge some shipping, but the shipping rates, it all depends also on how quickly you want it shipped. Banggood does fast shipping and they do regular, slow, cheap shipping. So you pick your own shipping rate depending on how quickly you want it. By the way, this base here is nice and heavy. It's like a solid chunk of aluminum with a little bit of a rubberized plasticky foot there. So when you put it down, it does stay in place and it simply works really, really well. I recommend the high quality screwdrivers all the time. Don't buy cheap screwdrivers for your knives. You're going to strip those screws over and over again. These bits are sized very well, and they are made with a nice, durable, strong bit. I don't know. I'm just going to go on and on if I just start talking about it. It's got all the bits you want, and I've got them listed down below. So thanks for watching my little video. I've got links, coupon code down below. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and all the good stuff you guys do for me. Remember, always, and remember, guys, whatever you find to do, do the best you can. Until next time, have a good one.